And again, we're getting a little bit ahead of ourselves, but it's still important to address that, hardships from things that happen to you at work, that if your perspective is not clear, it can affect your home life, your personal life, and vice versa. If your home life, you're experiencing a hardship. And when I say home life, it isn't just about relationship, because remember, I've worked over 20 years with seniors. And I definitely can tell you, when you get older, if you have not taken care of yourself when you were younger, you will experience hardship in the form of your health. So being plagued with, chronic illnesses and ailments, and unfortunately, there are people who have family histories where it's just genetically passed on. Your health is impacted. Bottom line is, if you're impacted by a hardship in your personal life, it can, if your perspective is not right, affect your professional, and your professional can affect your personal.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so I guess I want to add a definition, or, I'm not trying to rewrite the dictionary on hardship.
Right.
I want to bring some humanity into it, because those definitions are broad, and I get the clarity of the definition. But the reality is, when I learned, and now with one adult child and three others approaching those ages, when we're going through hardship, people don't get to define that. And what I mean by that is, when I went into specific seasons of hardship or one-timers or whatever, we all go into those places and spaces and seasons.
Yes.
With an inventory, okay, of skills and maybe an inventory within a perspective. Maybe there's other emotional inventories within that perspective that are unique to us, how we were raised, how we've been impacted, how we've dealt with that. And the one thing that I would just encourage people is, for me, when I went through at 40, when I turned 40 and I went into that season of a second divorce, I was very, very dogmatic, is probably the right word. I stayed in those places as long as I needed to stay to understand. And what I mean by that is, of course, when there's loss, people tell you, get over it. You're going to be fine. You're going to land on your feet.
Right.
They did you a favor. I mean, I understand how people mean well, but the reality is, people don't really know. Even if they went through a similar situation, they don't really know. Okay, because they haven't lived your life. They don't have your perspective. They don't have all that other stuff, including baggage, in which creates this filter of perspective that they're dealing with. And so I would just encourage people to find and protect objective, unbiased, emotionally not perfect, but emotionally stable people.
Yes.
Who will come alongside you through some of these hardships, losing a job, divorce, deaths, all kinds of stuff. Because those were the people that were my angels. Yes.
That is so important that you mentioned that, because it's so true. I think sometimes people have a tendency to not recognize that what one person considers to be a hardship, another person might just gloss over. And the other thing that I think we need to be very careful of is assuming that just because somebody doesn't talk about their hardship and they have a smile on their face, and they always have a good sunshiny report, that they're not, or they never have experienced a hardship. I think what we've covered just today alone is going to really open and increase the conversation with a lot of people, both at work. I hope that managers that are listening will be able to see that you can still apply what we're sharing in the workplace. In fact, I encourage them, because your teams are made up of a bunch of people who are dealing with personal things, both at home and in the office, the workplace. And when you're able to kind of treat them as a whole person and recognize that, I think the teams flow are, much more efficiently.